The final upgrade for Galaxy S22 was released. It is One UI 8 and the phone is performing really well. Struggling a bit in terms of multitasking and bigger apps, but it can handle One UI smoothly. We still have an update for this phone for the next 2 years until 2027, so you'll get security patches from time to time. We all know that Galaxy S26 is around the corner and a lot of people are considering trading this phone to a new Galaxy S26, which would probably be around the promotional price of $300 or get a resale value on used market for the same price. But for people who already own Galaxy S22 or thinking of purchasing one on used market as soon as Galaxy S26 goes in, is this phone still worth it? Is this the end of Galaxy S22 or maybe not? Closing the year of 2025, we have some bad news and bad things on Galaxy S22 owners. Let's talk about all the negatives of Galaxy S22 and starting with the battery life. The battery life of this phone sucks. I mean, for the last 5 years of Galaxy S series, this is the worst battery life of any S series phone. It's only 3700 mAh battery for Galaxy S22, and even for mid-range phones or entry level, this is so low. I think the baseline for battery capacity is 4000. Also considering the brightness of the screen, the 4nm Exynos 2200 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, the battery will drain really fast, not even a day. I even heard on some regions like India or Asia which uses Exynos 2200, the battery life is worse compared to the Snapdragon version. The second cons of this phone is the upgrade. We now have the latest OS upgrade on this phone, One UI 8, and it's sad to say goodbye. This is the end of the OS upgrade for Galaxy S22. Sure, we still have 2 years of OS updates, but you will never see the new look of One UI 9 on this phone. I mean, it was a good run for Galaxy S22 that started 2022, so almost 4 years now. There's a lot of ups and downs on this phone, and it's hard to see this phone becomes outdated looking at the OS. And speaking of outdated, we also have an outdated look, which is one of the reasons of not buying S22. I get the point, we still have the triple camera setup at the back of the phone. If you put a case on it, you might not notice the difference. We may see Galaxy S26 having a bit of a race bump on the camera module, which will probably go back to the look of S21 and S22. But obviously, if people are familiar with the design of the models, they probably know that you're rocking a really old phone back in 2022. And my last negative for this phone is the camera is getting worse over time. I mean, it started as a great phone with great camera, and after a few software updates, and once S23, S24, and S25 came in, you can feel that the camera is getting worse. One thing I tested is the exposure. So once you set the exposure, then you move around, it doesn't change the exposure of the video. Also, you will notice that the HDR processing is a bit grainy on Galaxy S22. I mean, overall, I think the software experience is making the camera of S22 worse than it used to, and something that you wanted to consider. After the bad things about this phone, let's talk about all the good things that would make this phone worthy of your money in 2026. Starting with the great screen, it is a dynamic AMOLED 2X with 120Hz refresh rate and 1300 nits of max brightness. This display is not the brightest amongst all the Samsung panels out there, and also comparing with the newer ones, but 1300 nits is decent on daylight with that 120Hz refresh rate and HDR10+. This phone is really good for gaming and watching content. This phone supports wideband L1 and you can watch 4K YouTube videos on Galaxy S22, so this is a really good content consumption phone and gaming phone. The colors are bright, vivid, and really eye-catching. The second pro of this phone is the size. It's a 6.1-inch screen. The phone only weighs 167 grams, so it's really lightweight, and even snapping a case on this phone, I don't think it would add much weight to it. I really like small phones like Galaxy S25, and just recently I reviewed the 5-inch phone, the Unihertz Jelly Max. I feel like small phones are underrated because I know that a lot of big phone sells out there, but if you like to have small phones like iPhone 13 mini or Galaxy S25, Samsung Galaxy S22 is a cheaper alternative amongst those two. The third reason is the okay camera or decent camera, although I bashed this phone on my cons, but I feel like comparing this phone with other mid-range phones on the $300 price range, I still feel that Galaxy S22 will outperform those phones. This phone can shoot 8K 24fps video recording if that's your thing, and on daylight condition, you will still have really good sharp images, colorful and Samsung-like photos. It's just when you go low light or even use the selfie camera, you would notice a bit of a hit on the performance. The next good thing about this phone is One UI 8, so obviously even though it reaches the last upgrade of One UI, we still have the One UI 8, which is the current OS of Samsung. You will enjoy the Now feature, you still have all the security patches and security features, all the themes, toolbars, and the new look and feel of One UI 8. And our last pro is the cheap price. So again, around $300, you may find yourself a really good deal of Galaxy S22 in early 2026. I don't think you can buy any phone for this price range. Maybe a mid-range Poco or Xiaomi phone, or even iPhone 11 or Pixel 8. Again, overall, I think in terms of what it offers from the processor and the One UI experience, Samsung Galaxy S22 is dead. But if you find beauty on these cheap flagship phones, maybe not.